Now we turn our attention to artificial intelligence. Today, our online media regulator warned that AI tools are being used to generate child abuse images. The day before, a teacher said it's undermining how students are being assessed. It's been around a while, but it feels more and more like AI is influencing all parts of our lives in unsettling, but also incredible ways. So is it something to be celebrated or feared, or maybe a bit of both? Here's Kate MacDonald.
This wave of technological development we're living through is being compared by some experts to the Industrial Revolution. This phase of it is about 3 years old. It's really only getting started. Yet already many experts believe we're coming close to reaching what they call artificial general intelligence. We may never get there, but it's the point where AI systems can learn, reason, solve problems, take actions, and adapt to situations like or better than humans. But what no one knows yet is what that would mean for society, for economies, or for people's minds.
AI makes me feel excited and terrified. Makes me feel excited because of the problems it can solve in the world, the way it can enhance your productivity and your creativity. But it terrifies me for two reasons. One is the effects it will have on people's ability to, or the way they use reasoning arguments. Will they just rely on AI too much rather than maintaining their own ability to, say, critically examine a politician's pitch, for example? And the other reason it terrifies me is because, well, people like Sam Altman have said, he says, we'll have artificial general intelligence within maybe 3 years. Others are more pessimistic. Why would an artificial general intelligence machine, one that is as smart as humans or smarter, why would it care about whether humans died in a pandemic or not? And Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, has broadcast this fear also. How do you keep these things in control? How do you stop them having quite sinister effects on human beings? And how do you stop them seeing human beings as inferior pieces of biological material that are less intelligent, prone to erratic animal instincts, vulnerable to viruses? Why should we care about them? People think, oh, we can just program constraints into program ethics. We can get them to read Plato and Socrates and Thomas Aquinas and try and program them in the human values. And it sounds like science fiction, but this is absolutely, there are teams of people all over the world, ethicists, philosophers, trying to work out how do we keep the genie in the bottle. And unfortunately, you get this young crew of tech bros who have demonstrated in recent months that they're not hugely values-driven. Gutenberg's invention of the printing press and the consequent, centuries later, mass literacy, that was an enormous step change. Nothing as big as the one we're facing just now. We know that illiterate people, their brains develop completely differently from literate people. So you do brain imaging, and their brains have formed in completely different ways. So literacy reshapes our brains. But my God, artificial intelligence, particularly artificial general intelligence, is going to reshape our brains far, far more. The glorious speeding up, the ideas for solving the climate crisis, the ideas for more energy efficiency, for designing better batteries, that's all so exciting. And as a scientist and a researcher, that excites me, and as a writer, it excites me how my researches are facilitated by these instruments. But personally, I worry so much about my grandchildren. I worry about their jobs. I worry about the concentration of the hugely skewed inequalities that are going to become worse and worse because smaller group of people will have vast wealth because they control the intelligence. If you cannot envisage what the world will be like for your children and grandchildren, even 20 years hence, which is the case, that is inherently anxiety arousing.
That future is beginning to emerge. All of these companies have paused recruitment or laid off staff recently. Tech multinational IBM said it would stop hiring for certain roles in human resources that AI could do. The buy now, pay later service Klarna developed an AI customer service assistant that is now doing the work of 700 full-time people. Duolingo let 10% of its translators go, replaced by AI. And IKEA's chatbot has replaced its call centres, although it said those workers would be retrained for other roles. That's just a few. The list could go on. It's increasingly difficult to find an industry or practice that isn't being changed or, in some views, undermined by AI. Yet at the same time, AI is bringing incredible innovations and possibilities, assisting in disease diagnoses or drug development, making things that were unachievable across various skill sets and industries newly possible. Some estimates say that AI could increase GDP globally by 7% in 10 years, driven by a productivity boom, labour cost savings and new job creation. Others, including the IMF, warn that while AI does promise to increase productivity, it threatens to replace humans in some jobs. So although new types of jobs may emerge in the short term, it's feared people could become underemployed or even unemployed and replaced by AI. But that's just the jobs themselves, the economics. There's a wider concern when AI tools are involved in every decision-making process that they won't realise their bias, their mistakes will go unseen, and that there will be no accountability for their decisions, all of which could erode trust across society. Who do you argue with when the AI ignores your CV or refuses you a loan? Who is responsible when an AI military tool targets a building beside a school or a hospital? How do we handle this as a society? Maybe we've seen something like this before, with its downsides and upsides. But now, instead of monopolising our attention, this new technology could be assisting in every thought we have, every bias we hold, every decision we make, our jobs, our personalities and societies, whether we've agreed to it or not.